Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for a very exciting and special Crystal Cruises webinar. My name is Anna. I'm an Industry Relations Manager here at CLIA, and I'm going to just quickly go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenter. The webinar will run about 50 minutes with time for questions at the end. Please feel free to type your questions into the questions module of the webinar, and we'll get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, which is CLIA Global. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce our presenter, Walter Littlejohn. Walter serves as Senior Vice President and Managing Director of Crystal River Cruises, overseeing all aspects of the division, including operations, sales and marketing, product development, and finance. With over 30 years of experience in the travel industry, both on the supplier and retail side, Walter has passionately led Crystal River Cruises since its inception in July 2016, and as such, knows all of the pertinent details that will help you become a Crystal River Cruises expert. And joining Walter to help answer questions is Crystal's Sales and Marketing Trade Specialist, Lauren Barreras. And with that, take it away, Walter.
Thank you so much for that delightful introduction, Anna, and thank you, travel advisors, for joining us on one of CLIA's webinars, one of the first in quite some time, so we're very excited to be here and honored as well. As Anna shared with you, hopefully by the end of this presentation, you'll have taken the first steps towards being a Crystal River Cruises expert. And as always, there will be additional training opportunities and some other opportunities for you to learn more about our experience, which I'll share with you later. So we are a river cruise fleet consisting of 5 vessels. 4 of the vessels, which we affectionately refer to as our Rhine-class ships, are identical: the Crystal Bach, Crystal Debussy, Crystal Mahler, and Crystal Ravel. They're Europe's only all-suite, all-balcony river ships where all of the guest accommodations are located above the waterline, so they're located on decks 2 and 3. Each of the ships has 3 restaurants, which are flexible open seating, a main lounge, a beautiful spa, a fitness center, and a pool. They are 135 meters long, so they are the longest that a river ship can be in Europe, yet they carry half as many guests as normal. We only carry 106 guests, and those 106 guests are serviced by 68 crew members, which gives the ships the biggest guest to space ratio in the market: 2 staff for every 3 crew members. Now, 4 of those, and then our special baby in the fleet, our 5th ship, is Crystal Mozart, which is Europe's most spacious river ship. She is twice as wide as any other ship, features 4 restaurants, 4 social spaces, 2 fitness centers, the largest spa on Europe's rivers, consisting of his and her locker rooms with sauna and steam rooms inside, an indoor pool, 2 massage treatment rooms, a relaxation lounge, a beauty salon, and 2 fitness centers. And Crystal Mozart also has, and actually is one of the few ships in the rivers that has a full wraparound promenade deck. So she actually has a lot of the attributes for which the Crystal Ocean cruise ships are known. Again, like our other 4 ships, she's spacious. She only carries, on a reduced capacity, 120 guests, serviced by 83 crew members, also giving her a staff to guest ratio of 2 staff members for every 3 guests. We are a luxury all-inclusive experience, so we include unlimited fine wines, champagne, spirits, coffees, 24-hour butler room service in all categories, Crystal's famed Michelin-inspired open seating dining using fresh farm-to-table ingredients that are locally sourced, unlimited complimentary shore excursions, prepaid gratuities for not only the folks who work on board the ships, but also for all of the guides and the bus drivers who support our fabulous shore excursion program. 24-hour in-suite dining is included, where the guests have an option, have menu options, both hot and cold, as well as the ability to order from the menus of our main restaurants on board. Housekeeping and nightly turn-down service, luxury Cove de Lis amenities. Cove de Lis is based in Bordeaux, France, and they put together a fabulous line of eco-conscious amenities that are actually produced from the vines of the famed Chateau Lafite vineyard in Bordeaux. ultra-thin TVs in every suite with on-demand movies and music selections, and unlimited Wi-Fi and internet access not only on board our vessels, but also on our motor coaches. So I'm going to share with you some of the details of our suites because of course that's always one of the big questions that your guests ask you is, what is this room like? What are the details of the category? What does it look like and so forth? We do feature the largest suites on Europe's rivers, and you'll get to see that in a moment. And so for your clients who've always been a little hesitant about going on a river cruise ship because the rooms are small, Crystal is a fantastic option for them. On the board, the Crystal Mozart, our largest suite, we have two of them, is the Crystal Suite, category CS, as in Charlie Sam. It is 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and it's a split bedroom concept. So the beautiful living area, as you see here, is in the center of the suite, and then to the right is the master bedroom, and to the left is the second bedroom in the suite. 883 square feet in size. We also have the Crystal Penthouse category CP, which is a 1 bedroom, 1.5 bath suite. 664 square feet in size, again, where the living area is separate from the bedroom area, so it's a true suite as one would find in a hotel. And we have 2 of these on board as well. The bathrooms in these suites are just simply sumptuous. You can see the picture on the bottom right there. They all feature in this category a double vanity, a bathtub, a shower, and so forth. So our other category on board the Crystal Mozart, which I love, we have about 12 of these suites, is the penthouse category, category PH. These are 330 square feet in size. They have also a double vanity bathroom, but with just a shower, a huge bedroom area with a small seating area, and really fantastic closet space. Now, one of the things I was remiss in mentioning is that all of the suites aboard all Crystal River ships in all room categories feature this beautiful king-size bed that you see here, a true California king-size bed. Now, I always get the question, does the bed split apart? So if you have 2 people who want separate beds, yes, the beds do split apart and they make an oversized twin accommodation. Category S1 and S2 on the Crystal Mozart is our Deluxe Suite category. These are 219 square feet in size. They have a really lovely seating area there. Our trademark king size bed, again, spacious closet space and a beautiful bathroom that has a shower with a single vanity bathroom. Now, all of our suites feature Crystal luxury amenities. So on our river ships are modeled after the suite categories on board the Crystal ocean liners, which means, first of all, as I mentioned before, they come with butler service where the butler will pack and unpack for the clients, will offer complimentary pressing services, will deliver room service where they actually will serve the room service course by course if the guest would like. They will share ideas as to what the guests could do in the region because all of our crew are from Europe and so they're from the region in which we travel. And they're very passionate about having guests have a wonderful experience in their homeland. And so they're a fantastic source of information. And in the evening, this is one of my favorite things, is after guests have gone out for a full day of sightseeing, usually what I do, and a lot of our guests do this, is they come back to the ship, they take a shower, and they relax before dinner. And you can order from your butler evening canapes so that while you're relaxing, you can have a little nosh. You can also have a cocktail or a glass of wine and leisurely go to dinner at whatever time you choose, which I'll talk about more. So our suites not only feature as amenities the luxury king size bed, but they also come with a fully stocked refrigerator that has flat water, sparkling water, white wine, red wine, sparkling wine, as well as sodas. Um, we have in all of our suites a beautiful Nespresso coffee maker so that for any guests who want to make a little coffee or cappuccino of their own, they can do so without having to order room service. All of our suites feature 2 types of bathrobes, a traditional bathrobe as well as kimono bathrobes, two types of hair dryers, wall-mounted hair dryer and very powerful handheld hair dryers. And then we have additional luxury amenities in the suites like mending kits, shoe horns, lint brushes, and so forth. Every attention to every detail's been thought out so that you have all of the comforts that you would have at home. Of course, added with that is the room service. So the other room category on the Crystal Mozart is our category W1, which are deluxe suites that feature fixed windows. So the windows don't open, and they're 219 square feet in size. So they are the same size as our deluxe suite with the French balcony, but they have a window. And Crystal Mozart is a very unique ship because there's no other like her. As I mentioned to you, she's double wide, but the other aspect of the ship that is unique is that she was purposely designed for the Danube River. And as such, in that design, when these window suites were built, the designers ensured that the windows were large and spacious like you would find on an ocean liner. So this is a picture of that window. If you can see, if you compare, for any of you who have been on a river ship, you'll note that that window's like probably 4 times the size of a typical window suite on a river ship. Now, the really fantastic thing about these suites aboard Crystal Mozart is that for our 2022 and 2023 seasons, we have dedicated these suites for solo occupancy. There's such a huge market for solo travelers, for solo traveler groups and solo traveler singles, people who are traveling on their own, who want a fantastic room with lots of space. So we have on board Crystal Mozart the largest solo suites, in fact, the only solo suites in the river cruise industry. They're 219 square feet in size. And on every single voyage aboard Crystal Mozart, these suites are available without a single supplement, which is really fantastic. So every single voyage, you can book solos aboard Crystal Mozart and they don't have to pay a single supplement. It's fantastic. You can do groups because we have 38 of these aboard Crystal Mozart. And so for any of you who do solo traveler groups, this is the way to introduce them to river cruising at a very value conscious price. Now, on our Rhine class ships, the Crystal Suite category, the category CS, is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. On Crystal Mozart is 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath. On the Rhine class ships, they're 2-bedroom, 2-bath. They're 759 square feet in size, and just like Crystal Mozart, they have the split bedroom concept. So as you can see here, we're looking at the living and dining area, and then to the right of the suite is to the right side of the suite is the master bedroom, which has a beautiful separate bedroom, a huge bathroom. That's actually a split bathroom concept with a double vanity sink and a huge shower. There's a lovely master bedroom and then a huge walk-in closet. So that's on the master suite, master bedroom suite side of the ship. On the other side of the suite is the second bedroom, which is it has its own bedroom and its own bathroom, its own walk-in closet and double vanity bathroom. So it's a really fantastic category, the Crystal Suite. These are always the first to go all the time. So if you have clients who want this kind of room, you want to book them in advance. We do have our inventory open through the end of 2023. So reach out to your luxury clients who've never done a river cruise before, who appreciate a luxury experience, and get them booked early on that suite. The Crystal Penthouse, which is the category CP, is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath suite, 506 square feet in size. It has a huge bathroom, as you can see here, separate master bedroom, and as well a lovely walk-in closet. Now, most of the inventory on our Rhine class ships are a room that I simply love to no end. Our deluxe suite category, categories S1 and S2. These make up 70% of the inventory on our Rhine class ships, and they are a whopping 253 square feet in size, which is over 50% bigger than the room size in the river, the average room size in the river industry. They come with the trademark amenities that we have in all of our suites. So the beautiful king size bed, the butler service, the 24-hour room service, the stocked refrigerator, the coffee maker, and so forth. But they also have, which is really fantastic, this really lovely bathroom with the double vanity sink and large shower, and walk-in closets. I wish I could have shown you a picture of the walk-in closet, and I apologize for not doing that, but these really lovely walk-in closets that where we paid attention to the details, where your clients would have hanging space, plenty of space in drawers, plenty of space in shelving, as well as shoe racks and so forth. The closet is big enough for 2 people to fit inside of it. I've done this before. And so for your clients, a lot of them, when they do a river cruise in Europe, they not only are doing a river cruise, but they also are exploring other parts of Europe usually. And so they tend to come with lots of luggage. And in this deluxe suite category on our Rhine class ships, we have plenty of space. Now, our worst room, quote unquote, worst room on our Rhine class ships is our really lovely petite suite category, categories S4 and S5. These are 188 square feet in size. They have all of the same trademark amenities as every other category in our fleet, including the butler service and the king size bed and so forth. The big difference with these is that they only have a single sink, so a single vanity in the bathroom, and rather than a walk-in closet, they have a double closet like you would typically find on a river ship. So really, again, really fantastic value when you are pricing these suites. So a good thing for you to be aware of is that when you're pricing Crystal, and if you happen to be comparing us to another river cruise line, sometimes you do that. I should tell you, you shouldn't do that if your client wants a luxury experience, because in my opinion, we are the river cruise industry's only true luxury line on Europe's greatest rivers. But nonetheless, sometimes you do compare our pricing to other cruise lines. So remember that on our Rhine class ships, all of the suites are balcony rooms. So when you're comparing us to another line and looking at the value and so forth, you need to make sure that you're comparing like for like, apples to apples. So if you're comparing a balcony room on, let's say, Viking, then you need to compare that to start off with our petite suite on one of our Rhine class ships. So do keep that in mind, because you'll see on our Rhine class ships, the entry level price is higher than normal because they're all balcony rooms on those ships. So Crystal is known for luxurious ships that are very spacious, that traditionally carry half as many guests as ships of the same size. We're also known for our world-class service, which, as you can see, we carry 2 crew members for every 3 guests, which is actually double the industry average. So the industry average in the river cruise industry is 2 crew members for every 6 guests. So for instance, if you take, I'll just pick on Viking River Cruises as an example. Their ships carry 190 guests, same size as the Crystal ships. So the Viking Longship carries 190 guests, and those 190 guests are serviced by 50 crew members. On Crystal, we carry 106 guests, and those 106 guests are serviced by 68 crew members. So of course, in comparison to any other river cruise line, Crystal has the most extraordinary service because we have the best, most well-trained, most professional, most enthusiastic crew on the rivers, but we also have a lot more crew. So there's really no way the river cruise line can offer the level of service that Crystal does, because they don't even have the number of people. So to recap, Crystal's known for luxurious ships, fantastic accommodations, fantastic service, and as well, our Michelin-inspired cuisine. So as I mentioned to you, on our ships, on the Rhine class ships, we have 3 restaurants on board, and on the Crystal Mozart, we have 4. Our main restaurant is called the Waterside Restaurant. This is a flexible, open seating dining restaurant that is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner a la carte service. So you order off the menu. The Waterside Restaurant on all of the ships can seat all of the guests at once. However, we have other restaurants on board, so the guests are dispersed around the vessel in other areas. But as well, as I mentioned, we are flexible open seating. So what does that mean exactly? If we take dinner, for instance, dinner in the waterside restaurant on the Crystal River ships is any time the guest wants in between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. That's when they need to show up. So they can show up at any time without making a reservation. They can come at 7 o'clock, they can come at 7:15, they can come at 8 o'clock, they can show up at 9 o'clock. That's perfectly fine. That is how we've designed this experience. There's no other ships that can do this the way we do this. We've designed it so that guests can come at any time. And when they come, they dine with whomever they want. So if they just want to have dinner with their traveling companion, that's fine. If they've made some friends on board and they want to have dinner with their friends, that's fine. And they can change that every single night. It's like going to a fine dining restaurant at home where you show up whatever time you want and you just sit with who you want to sit with. For those of you who've never been on a river cruise, to give you the comparison, the typical MO in the river industry is that you have to dine with strangers. It kind of harkens back to how the ocean cruise industry was not so long ago, where there were fixed dining times. You had to show up at 6 or 8:30, and then there were only large tables, and so you were seated with strangers. There were tables of 6, 8, and 10, and you were seated with strangers. That's how most river ships are today. And that's and the dining time is fixed. So most river ships, you either start dinner at 7 o'clock or 7:30. If you happen to show up late, you miss a couple of courses and they can't help you. On Crystal, you show up whatever time you want. You eat with whomever you want. You can stay till midnight if you want. It's their vacation, and we allow them to enjoy it the way they want. So Waterside Restaurant, as I mentioned to you, is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a la carte service. All of the food on board the Crystal ships, all of the ingredients for the food on board the Crystal ships is brought on fresh. We don't serve or we don't buy anything frozen or pre-prepared. And in fact, not only are those foods brought on board fresh, but they're also locally sourced. We buy from some of the best farms in Austria and Germany and so forth. The only exception with regards to locally sourcing is we do serve lobster 1 night per week, fresh lobster 1 night per week on our sailings. And that lobster is usually purchased in Canada or in the New England area of the United States. We put it on a transatlantic flight on the day that we've purchased it. So it flies overnight, arrives in Europe the next morning, and is prepared and served for dinner that evening. So that's not locally sourced. We fly those lobsters pretty darn far for our guests to enjoy that fine amenity. And then as well, we also source oysters. We serve oysters once per week on our ships as well. And those fresh oysters are caught in a particular region of France, and we bring them in once per week to each ship so the guests can enjoy that. We are Michelin-inspired cuisine, so we are like going to a 2-star or 3-star Michelin restaurant where the food is prepared to order. Nothing is pre-prepared. So what I mean is, for instance, this duck, when the guest ordered the duck, that's when we started preparing the duck. It wasn't pre-prepared. Our soups are made from scratch. Our breads are made from scratch. It simply is an excellent or an amazing food experience. So I already shared with you, if you have clients, luxury clients who want big rooms, Crystal is the best choice for that. If you have clients who absolutely demand the best service, then Crystal River Cruises is the best choice for that. And then thirdly, if you have clients who are foodies, Crystal River Cruises is by far the best choice for that. Our galleys are 2 to 3 times the size of the galleys on other river ships. Those galleys combined with the tried and proven menus that Crystal's developed in their food program, as well as the legion of chefs that we have in the galleys, allows us to offer a culinary experience that simply is unmatched in Europe's greatest rivers. So your foodies you put on Crystal as well. So the second restaurant that we have on all the ships is the Bistro Restaurant, which during the daytime for breakfast and lunch is like a Viennese cafe. Um, for breakfast, we serve beautiful, freshly prepared egg dishes. Breakfast, the restaurant is serves from 9:30 until 11:30 in the morning. So your clients can have omelets, they can have scrambles, whatever kind of egg dish they want is available to them. And to accompany that, we have beautiful fresh fruits and pastries and so forth that we actually make available throughout the day in the bistro restaurant. And then for lunchtime, we serve in this restaurant really lovely flatbread pizzas, market salads, freshly prepared hamburgers and cheeseburgers, beautiful sandwiches like Reubens and so forth, as well as pasta dishes. And for lunch, the restaurant is open from 12 until 3 o'clock. For dinner in the bistro restaurant, not every night of the week, but on many nights of the week, for dinner in the bistro restaurant, we switch up the ambiance and we take it from being a Viennese cafe to being a really stylish and sophisticated tapas restaurant with tapas available with 24 different types of tapas available from across the globe, freshly prepared on board the river ships, and that is a real delight. It's a restaurant that guests often are quite surprised at because the meal is very sumptuous and it's very delightful because having the smaller portions of tapas and so forth is a different way of eating rather than your grand 6-course meal and so forth. And so a lot of people love going into the bistro restaurant. This is a really fantastic picture of a Reuben sandwich with freshly prepared fries and so forth. Again, everything is made from scratch. The Vintage Room restaurant is the third restaurant which we have on all of the ships, and Vintage Room is open for lunch and dinner. And there is a surcharge to dine in this restaurant, and I'll explain to you why. So the lunch menu in the Vintage Room restaurant is a 4-course meal paired with 4 wines and champagnes, grand vintages of wines and champagnes. The dinner experience is I always get this wrong, a 6-course meal paired with 6 wines and champagnes, again, grand vintages. When I mean grand vintages of wines and champagnes, I'm talking about Dom Perignon, Chateau Lafite, Opus One, Petrus, really, really expensive bottles of wine. And these are not tastings. These are full pours of those wines and champagnes. So that's why there's a surcharge for this, because we're talking about sometimes we're serving from $2,000 bottles of wine. We had the same experience on our ocean liners, so we modeled it after that, and it's really lovely. People love it. Lunch is €99 per person, dinner is €299 per person, and guests are able to buy out the restaurant if they want. Like if you have a family of 8 or 10 who are traveling together, and maybe the patriarch or the matriarch of the family wants to treat everyone to this lovely experience, they can buy out the restaurant for a night and have it exclusively available for them. During the meal, it's an enrichment experience because during the meal, you are learning about the history of the vineyard that's produced this wine or champagne that you're enjoying at the moment, as well as something special about that particular vintage and why we chose that particular vintage to serve. It's a really, really lovely experience. I encourage you to tell your clients about it. Now, Crystal Mozart, as I mentioned to you, she has 4 restaurants. So she has one more restaurant than the other ships, and that's because she's so big, being double wide and so forth, we were able to build in another restaurant. And the Blue Restaurant is that restaurant. It's at the very aft of the ship with really lovely views over the stern. It's only open for lunch. And here we have a fantastic menu of beautiful pastas, pizzas, and sandwiches and salads and so forth. Again, all freshly prepared and only open for lunch, as I mentioned to you before. On all of the ships, we have a lovely little pantry area where if guests want a quick snack, like some quick fresh fruit, quick apple, a quick pastry, they want to grab a quick coffee to go or a cappuccino or espresso to go, they can do so from the pantry area, and that is fully stocked 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on board. Now, as I mentioned to you, these are very, very spacious ships that carry very few guests. And so we have really spacious and lovely social spaces. The reception area on board the vessels is just really stunning. And this reception area on our ships is actually very important to us because it's the first experience that someone has on board when they realize, okay, this is going to be a very different river cruise than what I've typically seen. And what I mean by that is this picture is a really great depiction of it. On embarkation day, when the guests arrive to our ship, they're greeted by our doorman. That's that guy in the top hat over on the left over there. And they're brought on board the vessel where we have one of our waiters who will present a glass of champagne. And then they're escorted over to one of our receptionists, the folks that you see on the right. This is our check-in experience. The receptionists have a iPad, and they actually begin to check in the guests right from that iPad as they're personally escorting the guests to their suite. When the receptionist and the guests arrive to the suite, the check-in process is done. The receptionist introduces the guest to the butler, and the butler then shows the guests all of the amenities in the suite and so forth. That's our check-in experience. For any of you who've ever been on a river cruise, you know that the check-in experience is very different on other lines. You're usually brought into the main lounge of the ship, and you have to wait until 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the quote unquote rooms are ready. And it's done in more of a group experience. It's like, okay, everyone in the 100 quarter show up at the front desk and you have to do your check-in, blah, blah. It's not a personalized experience. Again, we're a luxury experience at Crystal, where personalized experiences and intimate moments are very important to our guests. And so this is why we do our check-in exactly this way. The Palm Court is the main social space on all of our vessels. Again, all of the guests on board could be seated in our main lounge and we would still have extra seating available. On our Rhine class ships, the Palm Court is a really special space. Most of the ceiling is made out of glass and all of the walls are made out of glass. And so when we're in some of those really stunningly scenic valleys on the Danube, like in the Wachau Valley, or on the Rhine in the Rhine Gorge, our guests can be seated in this lounge having a lovely cocktail and they can see those stunning castles right from their seat through the ceiling. It's really fantastic. In the evening in Palm Court, we have an onboard entertainer who performs on that Steinway piano, who the performer is not only a singer, but not only a pianist, but also a singer, a talented singer. We don't use, what do you call it? We don't lip sync. We don't have pre-recorded music and so forth. We employ talented singers. And when the ship is in port overnight, or late night, usually until 11 o'clock or so, which is quite frequently on Crystal River ships, we also bring on board really top-class entertainers from the region. So we could have a soprano who's from Italy. We could have a violinist trio from Vienna. We could have a tap dancing duo from Munich. We bring in really talented entertainers on board the Crystal River ships, and they perform in Palm Court. We also have enrichment lecturers on board. So on a typical 7-night river cruise, we have 2 enrichment lecturers who will join the ship, and they will do lectures that are significant to the region. It could be historical or modern subjects, and they perform those lectures here in the Palm Court. One of the things I love about our main lounge is that it is extremely different than a lot of other river cruise ships because there is no big buffet space in our main lounge. This is an upscale social space, and so it has this this really fantastic feeling of like being in a luxury residence, and so we don't put a buffet station in this space. It's just really inappropriate. On board the Crystal Mozart, as I mentioned to you, she's got 4 social spaces. So she has 3 lounges that the other ships don't have. One of those is the Connoisseur Club, which is this really lovely cigar and cognac bar. It's fantastic. We've got cigars from very nice cigars from across the globe, and lovely cognacs. This lounge actually has its own ventilation system so that the rest of the ship won't smell the cigars and so forth. But it's really fantastic. People love this space. It's very elegant. The Crystal Mozart also has a piano bar called the Cove, and this is where our onboard entertainer usually performs, is in the Cove here. And then as well, she has her own Palm Court, the lovely Cove Bar. This is right next to Palm Court. And then the 4th social space, which I neglected to include a picture, and I apologize. The 4th social space is a really lovely library that's right off the reception area on Crystal Mozart. In addition to that, we have our top deck spaces, the Vista Deck, which are very lovely. They've got beautiful canopies so that people who want protection from the sun can have that. Lovely couches and chairs and loungers for people to relax on, and Crystal River Cruise's signature pop-up Vista Bar. When we have to go under a low-lying bridge, that bar disappears through using a hydraulic system into the bowels of the ship. After we've cleared the bar, we then bring the bar back up. And throughout the day, particularly when the weather is lovely, we have the bar is open, and we have waiter service up on Vista Deck. So it's really fantastic. And this is the library on board Crystal Mozart. So I did include the picture. I just had it in the wrong place. This is a library on Crystal Mozart. It's really lovely. I love this space. That is a fireplace. It's not a fireplace. It's actually derived from water vapor. It's very ingenious. So if you can imagine, if you're on a Christmas markets cruise aboard Crystal Mozart, it's snowing outside, and you've just gone to the markets, and you come back to the ship, and you grab a cappuccino or espresso, sit in the library and read a book by the fireplace. It's just unbeatable, this kind of experience. It's just simply unbeatable. We have the Crystal Life Spa on all of the ships. So on the Rhine class ships, it's a massage treatment room that's open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And it's staffed by fully trained and licensed massage therapists who are only massage therapists. They don't do anything else. On other river cruise ships, they do everything. They clean the rooms, they clean the toilets, they cut the vegetables, they do other things. On ours, they're just massage therapists. They are trained in London, and they use Elemis products for the treatments. On Crystal Mozart, that spa, as I mentioned to you earlier, is the biggest spa on Europe's rivers. There are 2 massage treatment rooms, his and her locker rooms with sauna and steam rooms in each, a relaxation lounge that overlooks the bow of the ship. So when the ship is cruising down the river, you just had a really fantastic massage. You can go into the relaxation lounge, get yourself a nice lemon water, listen to the beautiful music, and just sort of float away in the elegance and beauty of the Danube River. There's an indoor pool in that spa on the Crystal Mozart. We have indoor pools on all of our ships, so all of the Rhine class ships and Crystal Mozart have indoor pools. Now, of course, it's a river ship, so the pool is going to be small, but your clients can do laps in our pools because our pools are equipped with a swim against the lap current feature. So your clients who like to get their laps in, they can have it. On the Rhine class ships, we do have a fireplace in this area, and a little relaxation area there as well. There's a glass roof over this pool, so beautiful sunlight comes in, and it's just a really lovely space. All of the ships have a fitness center. Crystal Mozart has 2. Her 2 fitness centers, one half of it is free weights and so forth, and then the other half, the other fitness center, is all cardio equipment. It's really nice. And we have every day we offer yoga and stretching classes up on the Vista Deck in the morning or in the early morning. And so for those who are fitness oriented and so forth, we are a fantastic option for them. So I mentioned to you that we're an all-inclusive experience, which means we offer unlimited complimentary shore excursions. About 80% of what we offer is complimentary. We do have some really high-end experiences that are available for additional charge. We do run our shore excursion program quite differently than the others because we are about giving people choices, allowing them to personalize the vacation experience to what they prefer to do rather than what I decided they should be doing. So the way we do that is that we have 5 categories of excursions, and they're designed to basically fit the lifestyle or the preferences of the traveler. So for people who want to mix and mingle with the locals, we have our personal connections category where there are people-to-people interactions. You can have lunch at someone's home. You can sit with an artist in an art school and paint. There are a lot of different experiences there. For people who are like me, who like to eat their way through Europe, um, eat and drink, I should say, their way through Europe, we have a series of excursions that fall under the categories of tantalizing gastronomy experiences, where you can dine on the local breads and the cheeses and the worst, and drink the wines and the beers and so forth. So you can get the flavors of the area through these shore excursion experiences. Of course, for people who want to see the historic sites, the churches, the cathedrals, the castles, and so forth, we have our cultural discoveries experiences, and quite an extensive selection of those. And then for people who need to be kept active, we have our exhilarating adventures categories, which are hiking, biking, kayaking, snowshoeing, all of the active things that people can do in the region. All of our ships do have their own fleet of bikes on board. And then whenever and people can just, by the way, take those bikes out on their own. But if they want a guided led bike excursion, we have those available as well. And then our 5th category is the one that no other river cruise line offers without question, and that is design your time custom shore excursions for people who want to do something that no one else is doing or no one else has done. We have a team of experts in Miami and Europe who will curate custom experiences for clients. We have a menu of these experiences, so if you're not sure what the client wants to do, but they know they want to do something different, we can share with you experiences that we have put together and curated for others, and those can serve as a base, and then it can be designed around that and so forth. Really fantastic experiences. Our entire shore excursion program is supported by our exclusive fleet of luxury motor coaches. Each ship has its own fleet of 3 motor coaches that follow the ship. They are really spacious in that they normally would hold 52 passengers. So this type of bus is very common or popular in Europe for motor coaching tours. It normally would hold 52 passengers, but we outfitted them to only hold 36. So the seat pitch, the spacing between the seats is very large, and the buses, as I mentioned before, are equipped with complimentary Wi-Fi. So where do we travel to? Where do we go? Crystal River Cruises is on Europe's most popular rivers: the Danube, the Rhine, the Main, and the Mosel rivers. About 80% of the river cruise fleet and the demand is on those rivers, and that's where we sail. We only have 5 ships. We're small. The Danube River, my favorite, bookended by the lovely cities of Budapest and Vienna, with the beautiful UNESCO World Heritage Site of the Wachau Valley, excursions to Salzburg and Český Krumlov. The Danube River is really fantastic. Our core itinerary is called the Delightful Danube, and that's offered aboard Crystal Revel. And that sails between Wilshofen, which is outside of Passau and Munich, to Budapest in both directions. We have a Prague package that could be added to the Wilshofen end of the journey. So if you're sailing from Wilshofen to Budapest, the client would start with Prague. If you're sailing from Budapest to Wilshofen, the client would end with Prague. It's 3 nights at the Mandarin Oriental, really lovely. But here on this itinerary, we go to Linz, which in itself is a very historic city and very fascinating. It has a lot of content. But from there, we also we do excursions to Salzburg, and we do excursions to Český Krumlov. We go to Passau. from which we can do excursions to Munich, but then Passau itself has really fantastic options. We go to Melk to see the beautiful Melk Abbey. We go to the beautiful wine village of Dernstein. We go to Vienna, and whenever Crystal is in Vienna, we are there for 2 full days and an overnight, always, because Vienna is fantastic and has lots of content. And then we go to Budapest, where we overnight there as well on this itinerary. So really lovely itinerary. For people who want a hotel package on the Budapest end, we have the Ritz-Carlton Hotel on the Budapest end. So we have our delightful Danube itinerary. We also have on Crystal Mozart in 2022, 7-night round trip cruises from Vienna, which is really fantastic, offered for the entire season. Still offering, even though the ship goes round trip, we still offer everything the Danube has to offer. So we go to Budapest where we do an overnight. We go to Esztergom in Hungary to see the beautiful basilica there. We go to Bratislava in Slovakia. We're in Vienna overnight. We also go to Dernstein and we also go to Linz. So all of the sites, the major ports of the Danube are included on this itinerary, but we do it round trip from Vienna because, by the way, pre-pandemic times, and I'm sure this will come back next year, from North America, there were over 36 nonstop flights to Vienna from North America. So for the clients who like really want an easy flight connection, this is the perfect way to go, is aboard Crystal Mozart and the Danube Dreams and Discoveries itinerary. On the beautiful Rhine River, which is most well known for the fantastic castles and so forth, we have our core itineraries, which are 7-night cruises sailing between Basel and Amsterdam. On the Basel end of the journey, clients can add a 2-night post or pre-cruise package, depending on where it is, to Zurich. And on the Amsterdam end of the journey, we have hotel stays at the 5-star, exceptional, unbelievable, breathtaking Waldorf Astoria in Amsterdam. We are the only river cruise line that they work with there. We have 3 ships doing this program in 2022, the Crystal Bach, Crystal Debussy, and Crystal Mahler, but we have 2 ships doing it in 2021 with some availability, so do take a look at that for any clients who are looking for departures this year. I'm big on the Mosel River, and many of you probably are not familiar with the Mosel River. She is Europe's most stunning river, and we have a beautiful itinerary that I developed starting in 2022 called Splendors of the Rhine and Mosel. We are offering departures mainly during the wine festival time because the Mosel is not only Europe's most scenic river, it really is stunning, and the Mosel Valley itself is nothing but wine villages. Quaint, charming, fun wine villages. And so this itinerary is really spectacular. We go all the way up into Trier. The Mosel Valley, by the way, is the home of Riesling wines and was settled by the Romans. And so there are Roman artifacts to be seen in the Mosel Valley. And as I mentioned to you before, the September and the October departures are doing wine festival season. So we have late night stays so clients can go to the wine festivals. We're also on the Dutch and Belgian waterways. We do these cruises round trip from Amsterdam, and we do them 2 times of the year. So we do them in July for clients who, or excuse me, we do them in March and April on our tulips and windmills so that clients can go to Kuchenhof Gardens and they can see all the tulips in bloom, which is a really, really fantastic time of the year to do this. But as well, we offer sailings in July. So, you have clients who are like, I don't want to go to Europe in the summer because it's hot and da da da. Well, in this region in July, it's not hot. It's not hot. And so they'll get to see all the lovely sites of the Netherlands and Belgium, including Hoorn and Kinderdijk, where they can see the windmills, beautiful city of Rotterdam, for which they can go to The Hague, Antwerp, Ghent, and Middelburg. Round trip from Amsterdam. As you all know, there are lots of nonstop flights from North America to Amsterdam. So a really, really fantastic itinerary and great opportunities for you to offer next July. We have Christmas markets cruises on both the Danube and the Rhine rivers. And by the way, we're big on the Christmas market season. We decorate our ships to no end. They are just incredibly festive. We have a wide array of 7 and 10 night options on the Danube, the Rhine, and the Mosel rivers. And we also have a new Dutch and Belgian Christmas market sailing about Crystal Bach. That's a new itinerary that we've come out with, and so that's really fantastic. There's a lot going on this year, and of course, if any of you have clients who are sailing this year, there's a lot of information to know about what our COVID protocols are, the entry requirements into countries and so forth. So if you have a booking this year, we have something called the Vacation Guide for Luxury River Cruising, which explains all of the entry requirements, explains all of the COVID protocols and so forth, so that you're aware of Crystal and what our COVID protocols are. 100% of our guests must be vaccinated, and 100% of our crew are vaccinated. We only have crew members who have been vaccinated by the vaccines approved by the EU. So that means they've either had Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, or a Janssen as they call it in Europe, or the AstraZeneca, which are the most effective vaccines. So 100% of the guests and 100% of the crew are vaccinated. At embarkation time, clients don't go to the ship first. They are actually taken to a special Crystal check-in center where we do COVID testing to make sure they're COVID negative. Once they're proven to be COVID negative, we then transfer them to our river ships. We are not allowing visitors on board our river ships during the operating season in order to keep that bubble clean. However, because our guests are vaccinated and because our crew are vaccinated, we are permitting guests to go outside of the bubble and to do sightseeing on their own and so forth. And this is all explained in that river cruise guide. Now, I mentioned to you that at the end of the seminar, you would be experts because of what you learn here, or you start to be experts because of what you learn on the seminar. But also, I'm going to give you an opportunity to become really knowledgeable with our product, and that is to sail on board, which we very rarely have the opportunity to, thankfully, to offer travel partner fares. But this is 2021. And so we do have sailings on the Danube and the Rhine that are available for 7 nights for $1,400 per person plus port charges. This is for new bookings only. We will add additional sailings as the opportunity arises. So you want to become familiar with our Travel Partner Resource Center, which I'll share with you. It's crystalcruises.com/agent, because whenever we have travel partner fares available, that is where you would see which departures we're offering as well as how to apply. We have some great promotions for November of 2022. For those of you who are smart and you get some groups together, you want to do a come with me or whatever, we have our best available fare promotion for select November 2022 departures. On the Crystal Mozart, it's the window suites are available for $34.99 per person. The French balcony suites, it's best available $39.99 per person. And on our Rhine class ships, it's best available suite at the time of booking $39.99 per person. This is combinable with our reduced deposit promotion of 15%, as well as our relaxed early final payment and relaxed early final payment discount, which is 2.5% if you pay at least 150 days in advance, and our relaxed final payment discount. As I mentioned to you, we've got lots of tools and resources available to you as our travel partners, and so you can find those at crystalcruises.com/agent. One of those is our Cruise Builder booking engine. Don't wait on hold on reservations. Unfortunately, everyone is struggling with hold times on reservations, but you don't need to wait on hold. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we have our easy-to-use Cruise Builder travel partner booking engine. Our partner resource center, where you can find marketing resources, training tools, booking tools like Cruise Builder, travel advisor fairs, recordings of past webinars that we've done and so forth, is available at crystalcruises.com/agent. So I encourage you to become familiar with that. On that, you can also pick up, and through our main website, you can pick up our 2022 brochure, which is only available in digital version right now, but it's a really fantastic tool where I give a lot of details about what all of the suites have inside of them and how many people they hold, and the value comparison, Crystal River Cruises versus other river cruise lines and so forth. It's a really, really fantastic tool. Part of my experience in the industry, I was an agent for 14 years. I owned my own travel agency, and I loved it, and I had a lot of fun and so forth. And so I built this brochure with that in mind, because I know that you get lots of questions from your clients and you need the answer quickly, and the answers to virtually all of the questions that you have about Crystal River Cruises is in that brochure. So become familiar with that brochure. We have some great value comparison tools in there and so forth. And most importantly, when you need sales support, you can reach us at 1-800-446-6620, option number 6, or you can send an email to salessupport@crystalcruises.com. So you're experts now, and I'm going to quiz you. But I want to thank you for your time, and I want to open it up because we have time left, and so I want to open up to answer any questions that we have. So, Anne, I'll have you take that away.
Perfect, thank you. We do have a few questions coming in. Our first one is from Rhonda, who is wondering if you have a favorite itinerary for the Italy area.
So Crystal itself is not in Italy, and the river cruise there is different. The Po has a lot of water level problems and so forth. So Crystal itself is not in Italy, but I will tell you my favorite river cruise itinerary is the one I'm on next, because I love them all truly. The Danube River is fantastic for clients who are active and want a lot to see, and they want some big cities combined in the itinerary. And the Rhine is fantastic for people who like scenic, more leisurely pace. The Mosel is for those who just want to be awed with the beauty of a natural region. And so those are my generally favorite itineraries.
Got it. Okay. And our next question is from David, who is wondering if you can speak to how Crystal River Cruises accommodates passengers with mobility disabilities.
Yes. So all of our ships have elevators. However, Deck 1 on Crystal Mozart, so the window suites are not, there's no elevator access to those, to that deck. All of our suites have elevators, but there is the reality of river cruising. And the reality of river cruising is that it is not accommodating for people who have mobility challenges. The gangways are often at very steep angles, depending on the water level at the time. There are often times where in order to get on a ship, guests have to walk over another ship, and in order to walk from the top deck, and in order to walk over that ship from the top deck, you always have to go upstairs to get to that top deck. If someone is even able to manage all of that, once they're on the gangway, again, the angles could be 45, 50, 60-degree angles. The gangways themselves, sometimes they're very narrow, and so they wouldn't accommodate a wheelchair. So in general, I do not recommend river cruising for people who have mobility challenges. I say that often, and I also put that in the brochure because I've seen it, and I've seen consumers be disappointed when they've gone there and they realize that all of the physical challenges that they have and so forth. So it's not a vacation that I recommend.
Okay, got it. That makes sense. Our next question is from Tabitha. I'm sure I know the answer to this question after hearing all of the amazing dining options on board, but Tabitha is wondering if Crystal can accommodate special diets such as vegan and other diets.
We have vegan menus, vegetarian menus. We can accommodate any special diet with one exception. We do not have a kosher kitchen, and so we aren't able to, unfortunately, accommodate kosher on our river ships. We can accommodate kosher on our ocean liners, on Crystal Serenity, for instance, but we're not able to accommodate on our river ships because we don't have a kosher kitchen, and we will not bring frozen food on board our ships. So that's the only special request that we cannot accommodate.
Okay, perfect. And it looks like those are all of our questions. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And thank you, Walter, for all of that incredible information.
Thanks so much, everyone. Good selling. And please remember to reach out to us for any assistance that you may need.
Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of your week.